Hey, Voz, hey, let's talk about the one thing you need more than more customers today. It's your girl, LaShonda Henry here, aka Sister Sense, and to help support my fellow entrepreneur business besties out there, today I've decided to share some things around getting Black Friday ready, working on consistent cash flow in your business, and you being in the know as far as the fundamental things you need to grow. So, welcome, welcome, welcome. In this final encore session, because by the way, I'm doing three of these today, right? This is the last of three, right? We're going to talk about your customers and your sales. Some things that you need to consider when it comes to consistent cash flow, things that may be holding you back, and what you need to do to position yourself to profit so you can move forward. So when we wrap up today, hopefully you have some practical ways to start to map out your next best steps, okay? That's the challenge for me, right? For you, a couple of things that I want you to do. Number one, if you missed this training, because I have done this training before, make sure that you go to the following website, sistersense.com/OT. OT. There you're going to see a Google document that you can make a copy of, because we're talking about the one thing you need more than more customers, right? So go and grab your one thing Google document. If you grabbed it before, great, but if you didn't, can you just go there and go to sistersense.com/OT, make a copy, and those of you who are hanging out with me live, just say got it when you get it. Okay? That's number one. Number two, once you open up your document, make sure that you share it with me, whether you're catching me live or on the replay side. Share it with sistersense@gmail.com, especially those of you who have or plan to have one-on-one sessions with me, so that we can literally sit down and talk about what's going on in your business, okay? So you have space in there to write your name, your email, your business details, so it can give me a little bit more sense about who you are, right? And space in there to make notes. I always say you want to make sure you get your ASK, get your ask in gear. You want to get clear, you got to get your ask in gear, right? Putting in your document questions that are on the top of your priority list, okay? Now, as I say this, check in. Did you get it yet? Maybe you had it from a previous webinar training we did, or you went to grab it. Just want to make sure that the link is still good for you. Outside of that, number one, number two, you are all welcome to join my community, the Firestarter Circle, at sistersense.com. Firestarters.sistersense.com. That's our Facebook group, number one. And number two, if you have some friends in the community that you would like to share some of these solutions with, feel free to share the main link, which is sistersense.com/the one thing. So if they missed this opportunity, but they need some clarity too, I got you, I got them, make sure you share with them the sistersense.com/the one thing resource. So that's the prep step, getting you set and getting everybody set for today, okay? Number one. Number two, next thing that we are going to do is what I call aims. This is the focus for today. Working on checking in with you, where you are in your business versus where you want to be. So if you've got your document open, you'll see there is space for you to work on right now revenue and mapping out your revenue roadmap. There's two core sections in there in that document, okay? So let's talk about it. First thing that I want you to do is to list 1 to 3 things that either you currently have or you want to sell, and include prices. So this morning I was doing a training and I said, hey, I want you to think about something that you're selling. What is that thing? How much it is? And I think someone dropped one of the first comments was like, oh, I'm selling a course, right? What's at least one thing that you either have or you want to sell? And how much is it? Number one. Number two is your revenue goals. How much do you want to make on an annual versus a monthly basis? Now, this document is a space for you to just kind of type it out, write it out, right? But this is the last of 3 sessions I did today. And in the other sessions, I shared the cash flow calculators. So if you have the calculators, which is a part of my cash flow series, you can literally use the calculator to map out your offers and also calculate your monthly and your annual revenue goals, okay? So I'll tell you how to get the calculator in a little bit if you don't already have it, but this is, as part of the cash flow cure, great so that outside of you just kind of writing out these things manually, you've got a space to get your numbers right automatically because all the calculators will come up with the numbers for you, okay? So, excuse me, listing your revenue goals. Next thing, you want to note the following. Do you have an email list? Do you have a customer base? Roughly how big are those for you? 1. Number 2, when it comes to sales, how frequent are your sales? N-O, not no, but N-O, not often. You feel like you're not getting sales as often as you would like. You're getting sales on an average, on a daily, monthly, or weekly basis. How frequent do you see sales coming into your business, right? You want to think about your average sales. On average, how much are you seeing coming into your business on a monthly, weekly, or daily basis? Maybe you go, on average, I'm bringing in about $3,000 to $4,000 a month. Last thing that I want you to note, what's your highest ticket offer? What's your highest ticket offer? Those of you who are here, I would love for you to share. What is your highest ticket offer? What is that offer? How much is that offer? And then I want you to think about the difference between how much you actually are getting in on average each month and how much you really want. So let's say you want to make $10,000 a month. Right now you're bringing in $3,000 a month. That means you would need to bring in an extra $7,000 to hit your revenue goal of $10K a month. These are the kind of questions that I want you to ask yourself as you check in with self to get clear about where you are versus where you want to be. So I'm going to do 2 things. I'm going to power pause just to give you a minute or 2 to work in your document and reflect on these things, right? I got the raspiest of raspy voices, so I would sing the Jeopardy song. I don't want to hurt your ears. I don't want to hurt my heart, okay? So I'm going to leave that for another day. But work on this. I'm going to give you a minute or 2 to do that, power pause, and then we'll move forward. So as we're working through this check-in challenge that I'm giving you, those of you listening on the replays, you can pause yourself for as long as you need to be able to map these things out. And like I said, if you have an opportunity either to hang out with me live, you guys can either unmute yourself or check in via the chat. After the fact, you can send me an email, a voice message, or leave a question or comment in the comment section below the video, okay? So you got options. So let's keep going. When I talk about AIMS, A-I-M-S, one of my favorite acronyms, didn't create it, but I grabbed it and took it to heart. Am I missing something? Sister Sense is all about helping you make sense and making money online, right? So I got to talk about sense versus actual sense, right? The money conversation. The desire is one of the following, and you can let me know which of these is yours. Real revenue versus consistent revenue. Real is you getting to a point where you're making real money. Like a lot of this maybe is conceptual for you. You're starting something new. You're not quite where you want to be yet. You're just trying to get the real revenue. Once you get there, to be clear, you don't just want it to come in like dot, 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 little trickle, trickle, trickle. You want some flow, right? You want consistent cash flow. So you are in phase 1 where you're trying to get real revenue, or 2, consistent cash flow that's working for you, predictable. Now, for most people, when it comes to making sense of making sense, right? A lot of people are like, listen, small budget, I'm just me, solopreneur. Let me start small and build big. And when you have that and plan in mind, you'll find that you focus on in starting small and building big, because this is what I did, right? I'm telling you from experience. You're going to start off with low price point offers to make sales. So, for example, if you have a $27 offer, you make your first 10 sales, you make $270. Yay, right? Following along, say yes. If you're following me so far, be like, yes, I got you, right? Logically, you got the desire to generate revenue. You start working on your LPPs. The logic stands, well, if I made $10 or rather $270 from 10 sales of a $27 offer, more offers, more sales, more money. That's where a lot of people find themselves. But guess what? They get stuck. Why did they get stuck? There's a problem. How am I going to get the more sales? Where am I going to get the more sales? Where will I find these new customers? A lot of times people go, listen, I want to do this, I want to do that, I want to make this, I want to make that. But in order to grow, I need more customers. Because that's the logic. If I made X amount of dollars doing this, I want to make more money, especially starting small to build big. I need more customers. Guess what? Some of y'all don't need more customers right now. You need something else, and we're going to talk about that today. Let's take a look at the table that I have here, okay? You can snapshot it. In this table, I share the following. If you're doing something like a $25 offer and your goal is to sell the hell out of this thing and work on, let's say, $10,000, your first $10,000 a month, you need to sell 400 of those to hit $10,000. If you have a $50 offer, you need to sell 200 of those to hit $10,000. $100 offer, you need to sell 100 to hit 10,000. $500 offer, you need to sell 20 to hit 10,000. A $1,000 offer, you need to sell 10 to hit 10,000. I mentioned to you all that I'm doing this because I believe that no one should get left behind. And right now, I have an accelerator with 11. I was only supposed to do 10. Mind you, I have 11. And by next week, I'll probably have 12 in my accelerator. I had 2 more people sign up this week. And at this point, the goal of the accelerator is to help my business besties to create a 1K evergreen offer. Even if you're not in that accelerator, I wanted you to know how to create 1K offers. And I wanted you to know how you could grow realistically. Because guess what? Is this out of reach? 400 sales of $25? No. There's a lot that you can do. There's a lot that I can share with you. But here's the deal. A lot of people are struggling because they don't have the time, bandwidth, skill set, team to be on social media all day, every day, to pump hundreds of dollars into ads, okay? And those are some of the things that people are doing to consistently get these kind of numbers on a month-by-month basis. So if you cannot do those things, know that without those things, one thing you can do to decrease the number of sales but still get to your revenue goals is to diversify your offers. Somebody say diversify for me. If you could drop that into the chat so that I can see. Diversify your offers. Now, there's me. Ain't I cute? I wish I still had those glasses. I went to Brooklyn Technical High School, and I pulled these slides, by the way, from a presentation that I did like maybe 10, 15 years ago. Like, it's an old presentation I did. Even my Sister Sense logo looked different back in the day, okay? And in that session, I talked about my money method. I'm like, you want to know how I make money online? Here's the formula. And baby, the formula has not changed, okay? I've been doing this for 20 plus years. That particular training I did well over a decade ago, okay? Now, I went to Brooklyn Technical High School. I was a geeky girl. These are some of my besties. We were on the newspaper. I did layout. Now, we didn't dress like this all the time. This is Spirit Week, and I think this was like Nerd Day or Geek Day or something like that for Spirit Week. We had like Pajama Day, and we had 70s Day, all kind of day, International Day, and I wore like my friend's sari. Her sari was so pretty. But anyway, another story for another day. In this training, I talked about being a geeky girl since the beginning of time, graduating Columbia University with a degree in computer science. So I've been doing this techie thing for a long time. Totally invested in not just being that tech girl, but building a family too, because we've got professional and personal goals. In my 20s, met this dude, ended up having that little dude. Okay, these are my boys, right? In that space, in that story, I shared how I went from this geeky high schooler to this graduate of Columbia University to a mommy. I went from somebody who was somebody's dependent to somebody depended on. Who's shaking their head like, wow, I am now somebody who other people depend on. I'm the person they look into, which means that consistent revenue is not a game. It needs to be a reality, right? Whether you got the little babies, the big babies, the fur babies, whether you're taking care of your family, your parents, whoever it may be. So for me, I working on my business. Again, I've been doing this for 20 plus years. I got to the point where I was featured in Essence. I was featured on UNC TV. I was in social media marketing for dummies in Ebony magazine, getting flown out by Disney and all these companies, working with brands, all the things, doing what I needed to do. I felt like I was doing a thing when I got my first car, my Yar. This is my Yar Binks. And then I felt like I was doing some extra when we got the house. No longer was that Brooklyn girl living in a small apartment, got the house, got the first car, moving on up, right? Like the Jeffersons. But what did I need to do to bring in revenue was this right here. This slide from that training over 10 years ago. LPP plus HPP plus PIP plus OPP equals what? Money. Somebody drop some dollar signs if I can see. The problem with a lot of entrepreneurs that, like me, start small and want to build big is this is the only thing a lot of us focus on. Low price point offers. Let me make that $27. Let me make that $7. Let me make that instant money. The low ticket offers. And trust me, I'm the LPP queen. I make that money all day, every day. But when I really realized I needed to build revenue, I created the system from back then that I'm sharing with you now, this day. You need more than just LPP offers. I just showed you. You need at least 400 sales if you want to break 10K with the $25 offer. Now, if you have a huge following or ad money, it's actually easier than it might be, might seem. But you need a leg up. Most of the folks that I work with don't have that leg up. Don't have time to be on TikTok and Instagram and Facebook every single day. Need to find practical ways to hit the revenue goals. And because that was me, as a new mommy, back then, I had to find the one thing that I'm going to share with you today. You got to build with balance. My mini-me, he's about to be 18, right? This is him sitting in one of my little favorite chairs. And I don't know if you're a New Yorker, but if you're a New Yorker, you can relate. We went to this store. I don't know if it still exists, Urban Outfitters. Jay used to work security at Urban Outfitters. And they had these chairs that were like over $100 for like $20. And of course, he also gets his discount working there. We bought these two chairs that, by the way, we still have to this day. And how we going to get these chairs home? You know, we live in Brooklyn. Bought these chairs in Manhattan. We did what New Yorkers do, put them on our back, went downstairs in the train station, put them on the train, and took them home. That's what New Yorkers do. We are resourceful. I need you, Brooklynite. Yes. Brooklynite, New Yorker, no matter where I am. I love it. I love it. Brooklynite in the building. I need you to be resourceful, y'all. Tap into whatever you need to do to get what you need to succeed. Even if you feel like you starting small, you can build with balance. And this little boy loved his little blocks. So there's right there, there's a little drool, by the way. There's a little drool on his face. You have to build with balance. Let me tell you something right now. You have the offers. You got offers or you got ideas of offers you want to create, number one. Number two, you got either an existing audience you can tap into or a target audience that you are looking into. Either way, you got some stuff. You have the drive. You have the profit potential. That's why you're here on a Saturday morning hanging out with me. You already have the offers, the existing, the potential, the drive. What you need is more balance. You need more balance. This is encore session number 3, right, of 3 sessions that I'm sharing today. I'm talking about the cash flow cure, how to get Black Friday ready, how to work on your revenue goals, how to work on knowing that there's one thing that you need more than more customers. And for a lot of you, I almost guarantee you what you need is not more customers, you need more balance. I ain't going to say everybody, but a lot of bodies need more balance. More HPP offers, high price points. More MRB. What does MRB stand for me? More repeat business. SOS. I know you know SOS means help, and some of y'all need a whole lot of help. That's why I am here, excited to share. But when I say SOS, I mean more simple offers set up. You're doing this stuff way too hard, way too expensive, way too elaborate. Trying to use tools that you don't even know how to use or cannot afford to sustain. Simple offers that are set up like yesterday. I can't, because I'm doing these 3 sessions, 1 hour back to back, right? And either this session or the last session, I think, Latoya, you were asking, how can I do this without a website, right? Either earlier in this session or the last one. Either way, I said, listen, I'm going to show you a couple of tools you can use even if you don't have a website to start selling today. You don't need a crazy huge budget. You need simple offers set up and available for sales today. Some folks are just missing these fundamental pieces. Now, I felt like I was a 3,000-pound whale, but my belly was not as big as I thought it was. This is us at the baby shower, which is funny because, like, literally 1111 is one of my angel numbers, number 1. And number 2, he was born 7 days later. I had to be induced. I was a diabetic, and at the time, they were like, he's not getting big in that belly of yours. We need to take him out now. But back then, if I'm being honest with you, I just wanted enough to be comfortable. I had this little thing looking up at me like, hey, what you about to do? I said, I'm about to do everything that I can for you. I quit my job, by the way. When I was about 3 months pregnant, I quit my job. I was broke as a joke. No job. And then, shortly after he was born, for reasons I won't go into, but that's the life of being Black in New York, we had to leave New York. And we left New York when Christopher was maybe about 6 months old and moved to North Carolina. I had been a Brooklyn girl all my life. New location, new baby, no job. Back then, I just wanted enough to be comfortable. Selling my information products, selling my services, selling my books, selling CDs, low ticket was the way for me. And then I learned very earlier on in my career that good enough was not good enough, so I had to dream bigger. And in dreaming bigger, I had to stretch myself past imposter syndrome. I had to stretch myself past, oh, they're not going to pay me that. They can't afford it. I couldn't afford it, so why would they pay me? stretch past all of those things. I created one of my first quote-unquote big bundles using my 10-10 win strategy. I said, listen, if I'm making X amount of dollars in a 9-to-5 job, if I can make 10 sales a day at $10, that's $100 a day. Do that for 30 days, that's $3,000. Back in my 20s, $3,000 a month was the thing that I was striving for. Eventually, I wanted more. I was like, okay, well, if I have a $100 offer, and my starter kit, you can see me and Christopher and his little beanie head in this picture right here. If I start off with my small offers, but now make a bigger offer, I'm going to make a starter kit and sell that for $100. If 10 people buy that, that's $1,000. And then I was like, all right, wait. Let's 10X this thing. If I make a $1,000 offer, sell 10 of those, that's $10,000 off in sales. Because guess what? I wanted to not only make real money, I wanted consistent cash flow. And I knew that, yes, I was doing the things you needed to grow organically. I was creating content on social media. I was blogging. I was going to different events. But that is growth that takes time. I realized to exponentially grow without ads, without a big budget, without crazy content, without expensive tools, without following them, without going viral or a huge following, I knew what I needed to do was figure out how to generate revenue in a way that created balance. That's the last 60 days for me, right here. Do I create content for social media? Yes. Do I have a YouTube channel? Yes. Right? Am I on social media every day? No. Yesterday, the mini-me was hanging out with friends and called me, and it was about 6 o'clock, and he woke me up. I always tell y'all 9 o'clock is my bedtime, but honestly, if I don't have much to do, it could be 6 or 7 o'clock, baby, I'm asleep. Okay? Okay? So it was one of those days where mommy was asleep at 6 o'clock when he called me. So what am I saying to you? I'm saying I don't have a huge following. I'm not on social media every day. I like to take naps, whether it be in the middle of the day or go to bed early, but I can still strategically get big results from a small list because I have balance. This is the last 60 days for me. What do you want the next 30 days, the next 60 days, the next 90 days to look like for you when it comes to your revenue? To ask yourself those questions, I need you to ask yourself these questions. Number one, are you mainly focused on low-ticket offers? Like I said, I'm the LPP queen. I make low-ticket products all day, every day, okay? But at the end of the day, I am about balance. Some of y'all are struggling to get to where you want to be when it comes to revenue, but you don't have enough balance. I did this training, by the way, earlier this week, and one of the ladies said, you know what, I want to do this. I do have high-ticket offers, but it takes me like 6 months to get a high-ticket client. And I said, well, number one, what are some things that you could do to make that process shorter, that time period shorter? And if you can't make that 6-month time period shorter, maybe you need to create another high-ticket offer or several so that you're not just trying to put all your eggs in what? One basket. Because sometimes we put blinders on and we think there's only one way to play, and that's just not the way. I said to y'all earlier, I need somebody to write this down. Diversify. Do you proactively promote your high-ticket offers? If you have them, do you proactively promote them? Are you mainly focused on social media marketing? Some of you guys, you rather pull out 5 years and twitch that left eye twitching, trying to figure out how to create something to go viral and then get 3 likes. You rather spend 5 hours doing that or talking about that than doing some of the RGA revenue generating activities, reaching out to real people, getting on real calls. You rather do the social media than do that. In the last training, I gave you guys the 1K offer, which is a series that we literally are starting next week. And I said to you, as part of that, I talk about the cash flow cure, right? I shared with you the cash flow cure document, working on outlining your offers, your revenue goals, annual and monthly, working on how much money you want to bring in weekly, working on your products, how you can go from just a $7 offer to literally selling a $977 offer, right, or $997 offer from one sales page, how you can work on building bundles, how you can work on conversations that convert, making a list of 100 people, proactively reaching out to real people, checking off message sent, message sent. If you want revenue, it cannot simply be that all you want to do is hope and pray that a social media post is going to go viral today, or hope and pray that you find somebody to give you some magic bullet way to do this without paying for ads, without having a huge following, all the things. You have to be able to know that to grow with balance, you got to roll up to your sleeves and be proactive. Now, this is my cash flow clarity kit, the mini version in the cash flow cure. If you have it, great. But if you don't have it, you can get it for free as part of the 1K offer, right? Now, that's something else to consider, but we're focused on you making sense of what? Making sense. Are you mainly just focused on social media? Are you mainly just a focus on new customers? You got to have balance. Some of you need more what? MRB, more repeat business. Everybody's like, ooh, sell on Etsy, sell on Etsy, sell on Amazon. I love a good marketplace, but guess what? They don't know your face. They don't know your face. They don't know your brand, and you don't know them either. A lot of these marketplaces, the only people who really get to capture the customer's information and work on those customers, generating revenue from those customers consistently is the marketplace, not you, baby. You have to work on cultivating relationships, not just with new customers, but repeat customers. Do you need more monthly repeat business? These are questions for you to ask yourself. And while they are rhetorical to some degree, you can answer them and share your answers with me. Pause. Take a minute. Reflect on these questions. Check in with me via the chat. Let me know where you are versus where you want to be. When I was starting out this thing, I was building websites. I was like, new customer, new customer, new customer. And then I was like, LaShonda, stop. There were people who were like, okay, LaShonda, now that you've built my website, can you help me with this? No. Can you help me with this? No. Can you help me? No. I was so fixated on new customers. And a lot of what helps me get here is getting clear about working on my monthly repeat business and creating experiences where I'm not just focused on new for consistent revenue. And that's something that you might have to do too. You need more what? Balance. So we are reflecting when making $10,000 from 20 people, as opposed to you making a $25 offer. Ooh, girl, I'm trying to make this money, honey. You need 400 people to buy that $25 offer to hit 10,000. Would it be easier if you just sold one thing at 500, got 20 people in? Would that help you? Would it help you if you had one offer at $1,000 and you got 10 people to buy that $1,000 offer for you to finally say, listen, Lord, I've been trying every which way to make this money work for me. I now have a $1,000 offer. I just made $10,000 in a day. I always love sharing with you guys the first time I sold on the stage. The panic in me, baby, because the requirement that was given to me was that not only did I have to sell from the stage, I had to sell a $1,000 offer, and I'd never done that before. I was like, nobody's going to buy nothing from me. Baby, I sold $1,000 in an offer, made $15,000 in 1 hour when I was barely making $20,000 in 1 year at my full-time job when I was earlier on in my 20s working in New York. I was barely making $20,000 in 1 year. I got $15,000 in 1 hour from a 1K offer. Would having one 10K offer and one $10,000 sale help you hit your revenue goals? I said there are two types of revenue goals you need to consider: real revenue and consistent cash flow too. Maybe the first one, the second one, both of them are resonating with you. One quote that resonates with me is, stop walking over dollars to pick up dimes. You're so fixated on the less triggering ways of selling that you keep putting yourself in small spaces. Are you walking over dollars to pick up dimes? You're just looking for the fast, immediate cash. You're in a space where you're looking at hard ways to make a little money. Well, if I could just bring in a little two, a little three, a little couple $100. Trust me, I was saying to myself, I just want to be comfortable, and I realized that good enough was not good enough. Not when you got the kind of prices for things that we got today. When 10K used to be okay, and now we need 20K to get what we used to get with 10K. Are you looking for easy ways to make a lot, or are you still fixated on hard ways to make a little? In all these years, when it comes to mentoring entrepreneurs, I always talk about money conversations versus contradictions, because a lot of us want a lot of things. We contradict ourselves, though, in how we act and how we move. In order to move differently, in order to make differently, you got to talk about the sense versus what? The sense. Now, I want you to check in with me, whether it be live or on the replay side, to really think about what these points mean to you as far as what you are trying to do. Are you walking over dollars to pick up dimes? Are you focused on low-ticket offers? Are you focused on starting small and building big, which is respectable? I did it too, but it takes a lot longer to get to those revenue goals if you just focus on doing it this way. Now, if you would like more balance, if you'd like to map out your 1K offer, I shared with you, I have the 1K EIO opportunity. Us mapping out your 1K easy, irresistible offer in one day, taking it a step further, creating the offer over 12 weeks, moving into working on your money, marketing, and sales goals too over 12 months. That's what I want to be able to do, to work with you as part of the 1K offer experience. So today, this is the third of 3 encore sessions that I've done so that I can kind of give you bite-sized looks into how to work on your end-of-year, new year, holiday sales goals, how to work on your cash flow cure. Because let's be real, a lot of solopreneur entrepreneurs out there is struggling with what? Broke-itis. Struggling with broke-itis, not quite where they want to be. So for me, I knew clarity comes with offering a cure. Sitting down, documenting the things that I've done, documenting the things that I've done when it comes to revenue over these 20-plus years online. So I can share the practical solutions. Because guess what? It's great to look at people with huge followings who are legit putting tons of money into ads and influence and all the things, but if you don't have the funds and the time with and the bandwidth to do all those things, these are practical solutions that I've created for you. Working on a 1K offer is one thing that you can do. And then the bigger conversation that I wanted to share today with you is more than more customers. The one thing that you need right now is more balance. And I know that it took me a long time to get there. I kind of want to exponentially shorten the amount of time it takes you to get there by being that mentor, that business bestie that helps you with the strategy, the clarity, and the confidence to move from this level to the next one. Because trust me, it's possible. I'm a spiritual entrepreneur. I always say where 2 or 3 are gathered in his name. And whether you are watching me live or on the replay side, I know for a fact that for me, energetically, especially being a mommy and being a diabetic and liking my naps, I don't have the time, okay, to be extra on these social media streets. I don't have the time to be doing all the things and things, but I do the right things to make sure that I am building and bringing in consistent revenue. So hopefully, number one, you get access to the encore sessions I did today, whether you watch them live or on the replay. Literally just binge those. Take of those what you will, number one. Number two, next thing that I have on the calendar for you is the 1K offer experience. So you get access to the one-day challenge, the 12-week accelerator, the 12-month Position to Profit program, and the BOGOs in there for you. Because I don't want to leave anything out of this conversation for you. I want you to have the cash flow calculator. I want you to have Get Black Friday Ready. I want you to have strategies that are going to help you work on your RGA revenue generating activities, practical things you can do right now. Okay? And so that, by the way, is at sistasense.com/1KO for 1K offer. Opportunities do expire, okay? So I don't know when you're going to catch this replay. However, take advantage of what's there while it is there and available to you. Plus, for those of you who want to work with me privately too, if you didn't get the opportunity to invest or be invited into my accelerator at there are two levels. The accelerator, there's the light level, which is $4,000 for 4 months of support, and then the level up, which is $10,000 for 12 months of support. If you didn't have those opportunities available to you, this is the next best solution for you. Being able to work with me, gain clarity around creating your digital minis, but your megas, right? The minis, bite-sized digital products, taking those minis, turning them into megas, 1K plus offers, and then creating that balance that you need to succeed moving forward. So email me, review the 1K offer I've created for you. Join the community too over at firestarters.sistasense.com. And if you'd like a dose of direction, you can always find me on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. I'm going to tell you, I won't be on them platforms all day, every day. But I got so much content on there, okay? There's quite a few things already on those resources, literally ready and waiting for you to binge watch. Number two, okay? So I'm going to check the chat to see if you guys have any final questions or thoughts that you would like to share, those of you who are live. And then, of course, friendly reminder, those of you on the replays side, make sure that you go over to 1K offers so that you can get the BOGO bonus, get Black Friday ready, get the cash flow cure, get your calculators, get your workbook, all the things. Because these are not bonuses that they're going to be all day, every day up in there, okay? So get your fast action bonuses, number one. And you can even add on one-on-one sessions with me too. The last call reduced rate offer that I'm going to be sharing with you for a long time when it comes to one-on-one sessions with me. So if you do need that additional direct access and support, that is also available to you, number two. So I'm excited. I'm so excited and happy that you guys were able to jump on here with me today. Live or on the replay, can you identify one thing that you say, I'm going to start here? Because there's space, by the way, in your one thing Google Doc for you to identify the lessons you've learned and at least one action item that you are going to put into place here. Next thing for me, baby, is the 1K offer. It's literally a week away, a couple of days. We're going to dive into that next part. But this part right here had to be explored. So I'm going to check my inbox, my voice messages, and see what you guys say to me. And, of course, I'm going to make sure that I continue to support you when it comes to creating your amazing. Thank you so much for catching me live and or on the replay side as part of this Cash Flow Cure Encore 3-part experience. Till we do more, till next time, take care Mwah. Bye.